How would you like to hear how I received a $3 million listing at the beginning of 1 January? And I was just talking to a graduate of my coaching program, the Listing Collective, John, and we were joking about the fact that he did exactly the same thing 1 year, and he was able to get a $1.5 million listing. How would you like to know how we did this without spending a dime? And it was so super easy that you can do this right now. I mean, can you imagine getting a multi-million dollar listing without having to spend any money by just making one phone call and not stressing about it and sort of just have it fall in your lap? Well, I'm going to tell you. But before I do, would you like a copy of my book? Is it here? Is it here? Where is it? Right there. That's right there. Massive Abundance, How to Create Passion, Purpose, and Prosperity in Your Life. I will send it to you for free. If you wait till the end of this video, I'll tell you how you can get my book for free. But how can you get a multi-million dollar listing making one phone call that doesn't cost any money and literally just have it fall in your lap? Well, I'm going to tell you, this is the perfect time of year. This video is being released in December, and this is the perfect time of year to call your sphere of influence. See, the problem here is that it's this time of year that mostly all real estate agents just sort of jet. They take off, they take their holidays, they take vacations. They end up, I remember 1 year, and this is the honest to God's truth, 1 year I literally took the whole month of December off. And I couldn't figure out why when I woke up on January 2nd the next year, I literally had zero in my pipeline. I was dead in the water and I had no business. So I learned my lesson really fast, because I can tell you, sometimes I'm not that quick on the uptake, but that time I got it quick. And that is, we have to continue to call our SOI, our sphere of influence. This is critically important in December. And I will tell you, you've heard me say this before. Do not take the whole month of December off. Work right through, I'm not saying work through the holidays, at least work up to the holidays. I'm sure that you should take time off. I'm positive we should all take time off to spend with our loved ones, our family, and our friends. But don't take the whole month of December off. It is absolutely ridiculous, and I can tell you, for John and myself, in 1 year, we each had the opportunity to get a multi-million dollar listing because we did one thing. And you want to know what that one thing is? That one thing was simply calling our SOI, no business, no stress, just calling our SOI and saying, hey, happy holidays, happy new year. That was it. Now, I know it sounds pretty simple, but it's the truth. I'm telling you that both of us really worked, and this is obviously different years, and this, for me, this happened to me, oh my God, this happened to me about 7, 8, 9 years ago. But I literally worked almost to the day or two before Christmas. And so I really hustled right to the end of the year. I did take the last week of the year off. I actually took a little bit of January off as well. But then, lo and behold, this is the honest to God's truth, I got a call in the middle of January. It was about 2 weeks into January. Hey, Chris, could you do me a favor and come over and check out my house? I really want you to give me a value on it. I really want you to tell me what it's worth and what it would sell for. And I'm moving to the East Coast and I need to sell this thing right away. Now, it was a past client of mine that I had sold the house to like 10 years previously. But regardless, it's a $3 million listing that I didn't, did I deserve it? Of course I deserved it. But I'm firmly convinced that the reason I got that listing is because I called my client up in December just to wish him a happy holiday and New Year. See, the benefit of doing this is not only are you continuing to generate business, continuing to put that energy out into the universe right up to the end of the month, then it's gonna come back to you in January. And he got a job transfer. I had just literally talked to him on the phone, and who was the first person he thought of when he got this job transfer in January? That would be me. and went over, checked the house out, gave him a listing presentation. We talked about strategy, and I got the listing signed, and it was an amazing sale. Now, would he have called me had I not called him in December? Who's to say? Probably. I do a really good job keeping in touch with my sphere of influence. And but it's the same thing with John. He did the exact same thing. He literally worked right up until the holiday season. And it really, again, I can't stress this enough. This is the time of year where you don't necessarily have to ask for referrals. He basically just called everybody in his sphere of influence and wished them a happy holiday and a new year. And he mixed it up, which is what I like to do. I mix it up between calls, voicemails, hand notes, emails, but mix it up. But the point is, it is super important to continue working until the end, because who knows? I may have not received that $3 million listing. John may not have received that $1.5 million listing without making these calls. So it really stresses the importance of working your sphere of influence, but it also stresses that you want to make sure that you're working through the holidays, because you don't want to be like Chris and John, who basically one year woke up in January and literally had nothing on the books. And that's one of the things that I always thought that I loved about being a real estate agent, is that, I can create my own schedule and I can take time off when, sure, you can create your own schedule. Absolutely, you should take time off. I highly encourage it. I'm not saying that you should work 7 hours a day. I highly encourage you taking at least one day off a week, take a long weekend each quarter. Take a few vacations throughout the year. I'm all for taking time off. That's why I'm a listing agent. That's why I preach this in the Listing Collective. It's all about working hard and working smartly so that we can make a lot of money, to use that money to help other people, and take time off so we can recharge our batteries and go out there and be of service to other people. That's my whole credo in the Listing Collective. So don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that too many listing agents, and I've talked to so many listing agents even in the last couple of weeks. So many listing agents are definitely checked out. They are already in holiday mode. They're feeding their faces with gingerbread and cookies and eggnog and all the other bad things that we shouldn't be eating. But I'm telling you, listen to experience. I've been doing this for over 30 years, people. Don't take December off. Keep it going, because the main thing is you can't really kill it in 2026 and the new year unless you start with December. December of 2025 is where you want to start. And this is applicable to any year, quite honestly. But if you want to make your January 2026, if you want your first quarter of 2026 to kick ass, you've got to start doing that in November and December. So keep the pedal to the metal. Start calling your SOI. You've got the perfect excuse to call them without asking for business and just saying, hey, happy holidays. Have an amazing 2026, and I wish you all the best. Love you, hugs and kisses. That's what you should be doing until the holidays. And then take that time off to spend with your family, friends, loved ones, what have you, and start 2026 hitting the ground like you are running like the road runner. All right, give me a comment below and let me know what date you're working till. I'd love to know that. And if you want a copy of my free book, Massive Abundance, How to Create Passion, Purpose, and Prosperity in Your Life, just put book in the comments and I will send you the book for free. All right, keep making those calls, guys.